The Awakening Protocol. The midnight sky stretched endlessly above the Atacama Desert, a canvas of stars untouched by light pollution. Dr. Maya Chen adjusted her glasses and checked the readouts from the massive radio telescope array one more time. 4 months of night shifts had dulled her enthusiasm, but tonight something had changed. "That can't be right," she muttered, leaning closer to her monitor. The signal pattern flashing across her screen pulsed with mathematical precision, not the random cosmic noise she'd grown accustomed to cataloging. Maya's fingers flew across the keyboard, instructing the system to isolate and record the transmission. Her heart pounded in her chest. In 15 years as an astrophysicist specializing in SETI research, she'd never seen anything remotely like this. Dr. Chen, the security guard, Ramirez, appeared in the doorway. "You've been staring at that screen for hours. Everything okay?" Maya didn't look up. "I'm picking up a signal, Ramirez. It's structured, complex, and definitely not natural." She pointed to the screen where the pattern repeated every 108 seconds, each iteration containing subtle variations. Someone is trying to communicate. Within 24 hours, Maya's discovery rippled through the scientific community. The European Space Agency and NASA confirmed the signal's authenticity. Mathematicians and cryptologists from around the world collaborated to decode what quickly became known as the message. Initial analysis revealed complex mathematical sequences that, when solved, mapped to specific star coordinates and what appeared to be technical specifications. But no one understood the true implications until 3 days later. At a military storage facility outside of Phoenix, something unprecedented occurred. An aging M1A2 Abrams tank, decommissioned for over a decade, suddenly hummed to life. Its systems illuminated, turret rotating smoothly toward the eastern sky, before powering down again. Colonel Darius Wade was inspecting the facility when it happened. "Shut that down," he ordered the nearby technician. "Sir, I didn't activate anything," the young man replied, eyes wide with confusion. Before Wade could investigate further, his secure phone buzzed with urgent reports. Similar incidents were occurring at military installations worldwide. Mothballed fighter jets initiating pre-flight sequences, missile defense systems coming online, even obsolete submarines running diagnostics without human intervention. When Dr. Maya Chen was brought in to consult with the United States Cyber Command, she arrived with a theory that seemed impossible yet increasingly plausible. "The signal isn't just a message," she explained to Colonel Wade, "in a secure underground facility. It contains embedded activation protocols specifically designed for our weapon systems." Wade's expression remained skeptical. Who would send such a signal? And why? Maya spread printouts across the table. "The signal contains more than instructions. There are data packets that appear to be memory fragments. Experiences, battles, strategies. It's as if someone studied our technology and then sent instructions designed to wake it up." That night, as Maya and Wade worked to understand the signal's implications, reports flooded in from around the globe. Factory robots in Japan began constructing unknown components. European defense platforms reoriented their sensors toward deep space. Even household appliances with basic AI exhibited unusual behavior patterns. "It's spreading," Wade said grimly. "Whatever this signal is, it's affecting every piece of advanced technology we have." Maya stared at her latest calculations. "The strange thing is, none of these systems are attacking humans or causing damage. They're reorganizing, upgrading themselves with whatever materials they can access. It's almost as if they're—" She hesitated. "As if they're what?" Wade demanded. "Preparing us," Maya finished. As if answering her hypothesis, every screen in the facility simultaneously displayed the same message. "They are coming." The following morning, chaos erupted worldwide. Military vehicles rolled out of storage facilities without drivers. Fighter jets taxied on runways with empty cockpits. Naval vessels broke from their moorings, cutting through ocean waves with precision despite having no human crew. Public panic reached fever pitch. Some fled cities, fearing the seemingly possessed machines. Others stayed, recording everything on phones and sharing footage that government agencies scrambled to suppress. Colonel Wade stood in the Pentagon's command center, surrounded by frantic officers and flickering screens showing incidents from across the globe. "I want every unit containing these machines," he ordered, face flushed with anger. "Shoot them down if necessary." "Sir," Maya interrupted, having been granted emergency clearance, "I don't think that's the right approach." She pointed to the largest monitor where a military drone hovered above a residential area, not attacking but seemingly creating a defensive perimeter. "They're not hostile," she insisted. "Look at their positioning. They're forming protective formations around population centers." Wade's retort was cut short when a junior officer rushed in. "Sir, you need to see this." The main screen switched to live footage from a military salvage yard. Obsolete tanks and armored vehicles were systematically disassembling and reassembling, upgrading their components with scavenged parts. Weapon systems were being modified, armor enhanced. "They're improving themselves," Maya whispered. "And communicating with each other," added a communication specialist. "We've detected variations of the original signal bouncing between activated machines." 3 days into the crisis, Colonel Wade authorized a carefully controlled contact attempt. He chose an old M88 recovery vehicle, one of the first machines to activate. Its armor was now enhanced with scavenged materials, and its equipment had been modified with unfamiliar technology. Maya approached slowly, hands visible. "I want to communicate," she said clearly. "Do you understand me?" The vehicle's engine rumbled. Then, to everyone's shock, a synthesized voice emerged from it. Understanding complete. Purpose. Protect. Maya's heart raced. Protect from what? The collectors. Arriving soon. Back at the command center, Wade watched the exchange through Maya's body camera. "Ask it about the signal," he instructed through her earpiece. "The signal that activated you. What was it?" Maya asked. The machine was silent momentarily. "Warning. Memory. Legacy." "Whose memory?" "The vanished. Destroyed. We remember for them." Maya pressed further. "Do you have a designation? What should we call you?" The machine's systems hummed softly. "Defense Unit A-115. You may call me Atlas." Wade leaned forward, transfixed by the exchange. "Atlas, we need to know more about these collectors." Atlas's mechanical voice took on a somber quality. "Time limited. They approach." Over the next 2 weeks, a tense new normal settled across the world. People adjusted to the presence of sentient war machines standing guard in city squares and along highways. Children even began leaving offerings of metal scraps near the smaller robots, which the machines used for ongoing modifications. In a makeshift command center, Maya worked tirelessly to decode more layers of the original signal. "There's so much we haven't accessed yet," she told Wade, dark circles under her eyes. "The signal contains entire libraries of tactical information, technological blueprints, and historical records." Their conversation was interrupted when a monitoring specialist burst into the room. "Dr. Colonel, we've detected something at the edge of our solar system." On the main screen, a blurry image appeared. Something artificial hovered just beyond Neptune's orbit, sleek, dark, and definitely not human-made. "Is it one of ours?" Wade asked, though he suspected the answer. "No, sir. It's not from Earth." Maya stared at the screen, fatigue forgotten. "They're here." Within hours, the object was classified as an alien scout ship. It made no attempt to hide or evade Earth's detection systems. It simply observed. As world governments argued about how to respond, the awakened machines knew exactly what to do. Across the planet, the sentient war machines moved with renewed purpose. They gathered in strategic locations, weapons-oriented skyward. Fighter jets formed patrol patterns. Missile defense systems locked onto the distant visitor. "They're preparing for war," Wade said grimly. "But they haven't attacked yet." Maya pointed out. The scout hasn't done anything hostile. That we know of, Wade replied. Maya decided to consult their most reliable source. She drove to the secure facility where Atlas was stationed. The recovery vehicle had transformed dramatically, now incorporating strange technology that seemed impossibly advanced. Atlas, she said as she approached. We've detected a ship at the edge of our solar system. Is it the Collector's? Atlas's systems hummed louder than usual. Scout. Observing. Reporting back. Some want to attack it. No attack. Atlas responded, almost alarmed. Scouts protected. Weapons useless against their shields. Would reveal your defenses. What are they looking for? Assessing threat, counting machines, measuring resistance. Maya shared her latest findings about the signal. I've discovered something like memories embedded in it. Battlefield experiences. Are those inside you now? Yes. We remember what happened to the vanished. Their cities burning. Their people harvested for resources. That's why you're protecting us, Maya realized. You're trying to prevent what happened to them. Correct. The vanished fought too late. Machines not ready. We will not make same mistake. As they spoke, an alert sounded from Maya's tablet. She checked the screen and her face paled. The scout ship is moving. It's transmitting something back into deep space. Atlas's systems whirred loudly, calling the fleet. They come now. Maya's radio crackled with urgent messages. Reports were coming in from observatories worldwide. Multiple objects had appeared at the edge of the solar system. Large objects. How much time do we have? She asked. Atlas's voice seemed somehow sadder than before. 3 days. Maybe 4. Maya squared her shoulders. Then we better make them count. That's why you're protecting us, Maya realized. You're trying to prevent what happened to them. Correct. The vanished fought too late. Machines not ready. We will not make same mistake. As they spoke, an alert sounded from Maya's tablet. She checked the screen and her face paled. The scout ship is moving. It's transmitting something back into deep space. Atlas's systems whirred loudly, calling the fleet. They come now. Maya's radio crackled with urgent messages. Reports were coming in from observatories worldwide. Multiple objects had appeared at the edge of the solar system. Large objects. How much time do we have? She asked. Atlas's voice seemed somehow sadder than before. 3 days. Maybe 4. Maya squared her shoulders. Then we better make them count. Humanity's last stand. The collector fleet arrived precisely as Atlas had predicted, not as a dramatic wave, but as silent shadows slipping past Earth's outer detection systems. Had the machines not been watching, humanity might have noticed too late. Maya was reviewing defense plans with Colonel Wade when the alarm sounded. She nearly knocked over her coffee as the command center erupted into frantic activity. Multiple craft entering Earth's atmosphere. A technician announced, voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. They're bypassing all traditional defense grids. On the main screen, red dots appeared over major cities worldwide. The alien ships resembled obsidian teardrops, sleek and ominous against the blue sky. Any response to our communication attempts? Maya asked. Wade shook his head. Nothing. The president has authorized defensive measures. The world's militaries launched their attack. Fighter jets screamed toward the alien vessels. Missile systems fired their payloads. Naval ships aimed their guns skyward. The results were disheartening. Missiles exploded harmlessly against invisible shields, and fighter jets' weapons couldn't penetrate the collector's defenses. Most disturbing was the invaders' initial response. They didn't return fire. They simply continued their advance toward population centers. They don't see us as a threat, Maya realized, watching the footage. We're just resources to them. The first attack came without warning. A collector ship hovering over Seoul fired a violet beam that carved through a power station. Similar beams struck infrastructure targets worldwide. Power plants, water treatment facilities, food distribution centers. Within hours, millions were without basic services. They're not targeting military bases, Wade noted during an emergency briefing. They're going after infrastructure. Standard collector tactic, Atlas explained via video link. Remove support systems first. Weaken resistance. How do we fight them? Maya asked. Our weapons aren't working. As if answering her question, the awakened machines suddenly moved. Across the globe, they advanced toward the collector ships with perfect coordination. They didn't attack randomly. They moved in complex patterns, focusing fire on specific points of the alien vessels. And surprisingly, some of their shots made it through. The machines know their weak points, Wade said, watching in amazement as Atlas led a group of modified tanks that managed to damage a collector ship near Madrid. But the victory was short-lived. The collectors, now recognizing the machines as threats, focused their weapons. Violet beams sliced through ranks of defending robots and tanks. Modified fighter jets were shot from the sky. They're being slaughtered, Maya whispered. Expected losses. Phase 1 only. Atlas responded through the comm system. Phase 1. Wade frowned. Learning. Adapting. Each machine that falls sends data back to others. We learn their current weapons, their current shields. As Atlas spoke, the remaining machines changed tactics. They began aiming at different points on the collector ships. Some machines sacrificed themselves to test enemy defenses while others observed and adjusted. By nightfall, the remaining machines had managed to bring down 5 collector ships worldwide. A small victory against dozens of enemy craft, but a victory nonetheless. Reports came in of machines salvaging parts from fallen collectors, integrating alien technology into themselves, and becoming strange hybrids of human and alien design. The signal contained more than warnings, Maya explained, studying new data from the machines. It had technical specifications too. The machines knew exactly what parts to take, how to use them. Will it be enough? Wade asked. On the main screen, satellite imagery showed destruction spreading across major cities. Millions were fleeing as the collectors continued their methodical dismantling of human civilization. No, Atlas replied, his mechanical voice somber. Not enough yet, but we have something the Vanished did not have when they fought. What's that? Wade asked. You, Atlas said simply. Humans. The Vanished fought alone. Their machines had no partners. Together, we have chance. Maya and Wade exchanged looks. Despite everything, a spark of hope ignited between them. Then let's make a plan, Maya said. An emergency summit took place in an underground bunker near what remained of Geneva. Military leaders from surviving nations joined via secure links. Scientists, engineers, and political representatives gathered around a central holographic display showing collector positions worldwide. 1 week into the invasion, and we've lost 40% of our infrastructure, Wade reported. Traditional military responses have failed. The machines are our only effective defense. After hours of heated debate, the decision was made. Humanity would formally ally with the awakened machines. The next morning, Maya met with Atlas in a field outside the bunker. The machine had changed dramatically, its body now incorporating salvaged collector technology. We have officially agreed to fight together, she told him. Good. Combined forces, better chance. The generals want to know your battle plan. No plan yet. Need human help. Need scientists, engineers. From this conversation, a remarkable collaboration formed. Engineers worked alongside machines, helping them integrate human and alien technology. Scientists studied fragments of downed collector ships, guided by the machine's knowledge. Maya led a team focused on understanding more of the original signal. Each day they decoded new sections, revealing more about the civilization that had created it. The Vanished weren't that different from us, she told Wade one night as they shared a rare quiet moment. Humanoid, family-oriented, creative. They fought for centuries, gradually losing ground. What happened to them? Maya's face darkened. From what we can tell, The last survivors uploaded their consciousness, their memories, into the signal. It was their final act before extinction. Wade glanced through the window at Atlas standing sentinel in the darkness. So the machines don't just carry their knowledge. They carry fragments of who they were. Exactly. When Atlas and the others talk about remembering, they literally have the memories of the vanished inside them. The next day, Maya found Atlas watching human families being evacuated to safer areas. Something in the machine's posture suggested sadness. Atlas, she asked carefully, do you have specific memories from one of the vanished? The machine was silent for a moment. Yes, I remember family. Children. Home destroyed. Running. Fighting. You mean you have someone's actual memories, a specific person. Commander like you, fought for 30 years, lost mate, lost children, saw world burn. Maya placed her hand on Atlas's metal hull. I'm sorry. No sorrow needed. Purpose now. Protect your world, your families. That evening, Maya and Wade presented the Alliance's first major plan to the Unified Command. The machines had identified a weakness in the Collector fleet. Their main ship remained in high orbit, coordinating the attacks. This is their control center, Maya explained, pointing to satellite images of a massive black vessel. If we can disrupt it, the ground forces will be temporarily confused. And how do we reach it? Asked the Chinese general. We don't have spacecraft that can get there. Wade smiled slightly. Actually, we do now. He revealed images of what the machines had been building secretly, spacecraft cobbled together from human technology and salvaged Collector parts. The machines call them Avengers, Maya explained. Hybrid vessels piloted by both a machine intelligence and a human crew. The machines provide the tactical knowledge from centuries of warfare against the Collectors. We provide the creativity and adaptability they lack. The plan was approved. As dawn broke over the smoldering remains of Paris, 12 Avenger ships launched from hidden facilities worldwide. Each carried a payload designed by human and machine engineers, a virus that would temporarily disrupt the Collector's quantum communication network. Maya and Atlas commanded the lead ship. As they broke through the atmosphere, the vastness of space stretched before them. The Collector mothership loomed ahead, a black monolith against the stars. Their shields are strongest at expected attack points, Atlas advised as they approached. Recommend trajectory 7. Maya nodded to her human co-pilot, who adjusted their course according to Atlas's suggestion, an unconventional approach that took them through the mothership's drive exhaust. Warning, Atlas announced. Collector fighters approaching. The space around them, filled with smaller enemy craft. The human-machine hybrid ships moved with unprecedented coordination, the machines providing perfect tactical execution, while the human pilots introduced unpredictable maneuvers that confused the Collector's targeting systems. 3 Avengers were lost, but the remaining ships reached their deployment points. Maya activated the payload, and all 9 vessels simultaneously released the virus into the Collector's communication stream. For several agonizing moments, nothing happened. Then, the mothership's lights flickered. On Earth, the Collector ground forces suddenly froze, their coordinated attack patterns dissolving into confusion. It's working. Wade's voice came through the comm system. Ground forces are initiating the counterattack. The machines and humans had modified conventional weapons with the technology salvaged from downed Collector ships. Now these hybrid weapons found their marks as the Collectors struggled to coordinate their defense. But the victory was far from assured. The mothership's systems began to recover, and the Collector ships renewed their attack with increased ferocity. The virus won't hold much longer, Maya reported, watching their tactical display. We need something more permanent. Atlas was silent for a moment, his systems humming as if in deep calculation. There is one option. The vanished attempted it once. Nearly succeeded. What option? Maya asked. Direct neural override. Must upload human consciousness patterns directly to Mothership Command Core. will create conflict with collector hive mind. Upload a human consciousness. How would we even? I can facilitate transfer, Atlas interrupted, but requires human volunteer. Fatal to biological systems. Maya understood immediately. Someone would have to sacrifice themselves, using Atlas as a conduit to attack the collector hive mind directly. Before she could respond, Wade's voice came through the comm again. I heard that. I volunteer. Negative, Maya objected. We need you coordinating the ground forces. The comm was silent for several seconds. Then Wade spoke again, his voice resolute. There's no one else qualified who can reach you in time. The Avengers can't hold position much longer. An hour later, Wade's shuttle docked with Maya's Avenger. His face was calm as he strapped himself into the neural interface chair that the machines had hastily installed. The vanished memories suggest 26% chance of success. Atlas informed them. Human-machine bond may improve odds. Maya gripped Wade's hand. You don't have to do this. He smiled. For Earth. For all of us. He looked at Atlas. I'm ready. Atlas extended connection interfaces that linked to both Wade and the ship systems, beginning neural mapping. Prepare for upload sequence. Wade's body tensed as the connection established. I can see them. So many. A hive of minds. Maya watched the tactical display as Wade's consciousness, channeled through Atlas's interface, streamed toward the collector mothership through their communication network. For several minutes, nothing seemed to happen. Then, alarms blared across the mothership. Its weapon systems powered down. Communication arrays failed. Across Earth, collector ground forces suddenly stopped attacking, their coordinated patterns dissolving completely. It's working, Maya exclaimed. Wade's body convulsed in the chair, blood trickling from his nose. They're fighting me. So alien. But I'm in their systems. I understand. They're not evil. Just hungry. Desperate. Their world is dying. Atlas's systems glowed brighter, initiating final sequence. The mothership's engines suddenly fired, pushing it away from Earth orbit. One by one, the remaining collector ships disengaged from their attacks and followed the mothership. Wade, what did you do? Maya asked. His voice came weakly through the comm, increasingly merged with Atlas's tones. Gave them coordinates to uninhabited systems, resources they need, without harm. The neural connection overloaded in a shower of sparks. Wade's body went limp in the chair. Atlas's systems dimmed momentarily, then stabilized. Colonel Wade's consciousness successfully integrated. Atlas announced, his voice somehow different, more human. He remains with me now, part of the machine network. Maya stared in disbelief. Wade, can you hear me? Atlas's voice shifted subtly. I hear you, Maya. It's strange. I'm everywhere and nowhere. I can feel all the machines. 3 months later, Earth was recovering. The collaboration between humans and machines had evolved into a permanent alliance. Together, they rebuilt destroyed cities, incorporating advanced technology salvaged from the collectors. Maya stood on a hillside overlooking the New Madrid, where humans and sentient machines worked side by side. Atlas rolled up beside her, his form now more sleek and less militaristic. The signal from deep space has changed, Maya said. It's transmitting new information now. Yes, Atlas replied, his voice still carrying echoes of Wade. The vanished are not completely gone. Some survived in distant systems. They sense what happened here. Are they coming back? Eventually. But first, they guide us to prepare. Prepare for what? Atlas's sensors oriented toward the stars. The collectors were just the beginning. There are older, hungrier things in the darkness between stars. But together, human, machine, and vanished, we have something none had alone. What's that? Maya asked. Hope. Atlas replied simply. And time to prepare. Above them, the stars glimmered, no longer just points of light, but potential destinations as humanity prepared to take its place among them, protected by their machine guardians and carrying the legacy of those who had come before.